the second, not the first.
I remember Kelowna Lake Country.
Well, Madam Speaker, even the Governor of the Bank of Canada said that inflation was homegrown because of these Liberals. Right. A resident of mine let me know that he sent some Christmas baking to a relative in Penticton, which is only 45 minutes from Kelowna. It cost him $75. Wow. The fuel surcharge fee on his bill was 40%, and this is before the tripling of the Liberals' carbon tax. So much for the annual Christmas tradition of sending baking to those you love. Will this Liberal government stop forcing their failed carbon tax on Canadians?
Yeah. The Honourable Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member from BC never, ever talks about the costs of climate change, never talks about the rebate. I would remind her that 600 people died under the heat dome in British Columbia. They were, of course, subject to the atmospheric river, which cost the BC economy $9 billion. We've sent $5 billion to help that good province rebuild, Madam Speaker, and the Honourable Member should get serious about climate change. It's costing our citizens plenty.
Right. The Honourable Member for Lethbridge.
Well, despite being absolutely useless, this government insists on tripling the carbon tax. When taxes go up, the money in bank accounts of Canadians actually goes down. Basic math, logic. Welcome, folks. In order to try to make ends meet, moms are actually watering down baby formula, seniors are turning their thermostats down to 17, and Canadian families are accessing food banks like they've never done before. Canadians are struggling. So when will these Liberals show some compassion and axe the tax?
Yeah! The Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to talk about another group of families that I've been invited to go cook and serve Christmas dinner for next weekend. And it's the over 125 people that lost their homes due to Hurricane Fiona. They have no homes. They're living with family, friends, and temporary housing as we rebuild. And it's our government that's helping them now. It's our government has a plan to fight climate change. If you go visit my riding, they are the first to stand up and say, please, will you address the impacts of climate change? We have to act, and we have to act now.
Honourable Member for Lethbridge.
Here's the problem with that, is that since these Liberals took power and imposed the carbon tax, emissions have actually gone up, not down. So I don't know how those constituents are being helped by this, aside from paying a whole lot of money to get a whole lot of nothing. Yeah. So here's the thing, is that a tax is not the answer. Canadians are the answer. They are the innovators. They are the problem solvers. Yes. They are the solution makers. They are the ones that will get us out of this Liberal-made mess. Canadians are the ones that we believe in. So finally, when will you scrap your failed Liberal experiment and give Canadians back control of their lives?
Yeah! Now, the Honourable Member knows that she's to address all questions and comments through the chair and not directly to the government. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Madam Speaker, I hate to break it to the Honourable Member, but emissions are going down and we're on track to meet our carbon emission targets, Madam Speaker. But let's talk about the Conservative record for just a little bit. For 10 long years, they did absolutely nothing about climate change, Madam Speaker. They blew up the Kyoto Accord and blew up our emissions target. They cut, Madam Speaker, $350 million from the climate change budget. They're not serious about climate change, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, I just want to remind members again, so this has happened during questions and during answers, and I would ask members to please hold their thoughts when somebody else has the floor.